Hi everyone, it's Shirin here again, and you're back for Photo 143, Beginning Digital Photography, Mod 7. Just a couple of reminders for this week is that we're dipping into light this week. So if you're still in the market for a camera, please make sure to touch base with me or Riz. And if you're shot for cash or anything like that and still want to do manual settings and are using your smartphone to take your photographs, we will set up a link to different apps that you can use on your phone that will give you a little bit more control over the manual settings of that camera. I've also gotten a couple of requests for camera suggestions, so make sure to take a peek back at module 1.7 for more information on equipment.
Thanks, Shirin, for that update. For our overview, we'll be doing a check-in on movement. Our assigned reading and resources will be on lighting, and as usual, we'll close up with an assignment, a quiz, and a reflection.
For the Module 7 check-in, I wanted to make the topic about movement. I've been thinking a lot about how I've been sitting at my desk a lot and having the need to find opportunities to move throughout my day since I'm working at home so much. When applied to photography, movement can mean so many things. Your subject can be moving, or it can just be the way you get the viewer's eye to move around your frame. I like to try moving my own body in different ways, so I've included a photo of myself behind me experimenting with throwing flour and taking photos of some clothes that I had made. And so that's my example for this week's idea around movement. So I'm excited to see what you do this week.
So it's really great that Shirin is a multidisciplinary artist. So you could see in her photograph, she's integrating a lot of things, the clothing that she makes, which I think is a form of sculpture. And then this action that she's doing with the flower, which is a sort of performative art. And so I had mentioned Shirin and I kind of have some parallels, I think, with our work. And so I'm showing also some work of my own behind me. And it's a photograph of my grandmother in the shape of a folded boat. And so I just wanted to share the way that I thought about movement. This project for me is about migration and how my family moved to America. And so I wanted to make sure there was some movement in my project as well. So I have another video for you to check out right here. It's a video called Landsick, an exhibition that I had at the New Americans Museum. I think that the photos show, despite our generational differences, that me and my family have something in common, that we all share this feeling that's really hard to explain. It's about wanting to be in two places at the same time, the things that we gave up, the need to give your family the best life that they can have, living up to the expectation of our parents, fulfilling the legacy of our grandparents, our ancestors. There's a lot of feelings that we have to deal with that we don't really understand.
The reading for chapter 12 is going to be about recognizing the qualities of natural light, the size of the source, its direction, color, and intensity, and the effect the changes in those qualities will have on your photographs. Recognize that the qualities of natural light can be duplicated with artificial light that you can control, and know the equipment that will let you do that.
Thanks for introducing the reading, Shirin. There are a variety of photographers that you'll see throughout the book. I want to point out 4 that I can share with you. The first will be Adam Ekberg. It's one of the first photographs that you'll see in the chapter. It has the 2 chairs and a flashlight. And what I think is most exciting about this photo is just how curious I get by looking at it. Start to wonder why these objects are placed the ways in which they are placed. And that generally it's just like a very interesting kind of cinematic type of lighting. The next photographer that I want to mention is Henry Wessel. And in his photograph, you'll see people standing along a fence. And so this is a really beautiful way of using shadow. And so you can see the shadows and silhouettes of the people against the fence. It's really beautiful. The third picture that I'm going to mention is Polly Brown, and they're in the interior of a barber shop. And what you're seeing is diffuse light. And so when you're looking at the people in the photo, you'll see that there are no harsh shadows on their face. and that the lighting inside the building is actually diffused. It has something in between the light and the subject that's making it less sharp. So the last photographer I wanted to mention is Larry Clark, which is actually one of my favorite photographers. And I'm mentioning Larry because he's actually the opposite of what you're seeing in Polly Brown's photograph, which is a very contrasty photo. So if you were to look at the backlighting of the window in the photograph is creating this high contrast image. So if you look at the person's face and kind of the creases of his sweater, you'll see that there's much more shadows present than in the photograph by Polly Brown. Like Shirin and I have mentioned in every module that we like to use the book as a guideline to figure out who we're not seeing. And so I'd like to introduce 5 photographers for this module. First, I have Aurelien Voldorie, Barbara Peacock, Gregory Crewdson, Vadim Gus-chin, and Mirko Saviane. So to wrap up this module, I just like to remind everyone, if you don't have a camera yet, that we'd like to make sure that we could support you. So please check back on module 1.7. I'll go ahead and list some recommendations for cameras, and Shirin will also provide some app recommendations for those of you that are using your smartphone devices. So that's a wrap. Thank you everybody for joining us again, and we'll see you for module 8.